so many things differ with the characters, and then you kind of get hooked on storylines or excited about storylines and you don't really think too much about it. But you know what? I'm gonna let you ask that question. Go ahead.
Okay. Again, this is not a sneaky way. I was told on peril of having my fingernails ripped out not to ask what happens in season 5 at any point. But with that out there, I didn't know if that was a sign of what was in your future.
Do you always obey?
Well, they said you would rip my fingernails out, which I believe might happen.
No, I would never.
Only if you ask nicely.
Anyway, territory you'd rather not go into at this point?
It's not so much territory I'd rather not go into. I mean, there's probably a lot of people who do read the comics, and I think that you can all appreciate that the show diverts from the comics because it keeps us surprised. I know that our writers like to mix it up, and sometimes you'll see things happening to one character that will end up in the comic that will end up happening to somebody else in the show. And I think that helps keep it fresh on a lot of levels. Fresh. We were talking about Walking Dead. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot in store for all of us, and it's interesting when people say, oh, your character's changed a lot from year to year. And, I think this season there's been more monumental change for most of us in this season. I can't say that much.
So when you just
in the season that's currently being made by people who work on the show.
Okay, cool. Danai, let me come over to you here. One of the ways you grabbed everybody's attention is you come on there with a lot of intensity and mystery, and gradually you find pieces of their life get revealed to us. But the one thing we know from the start is you have your katana. Again, that is as much a part of your character as your hair or anything. You obviously are not someone used to, in real life, wielding a weapon like that, are you? How long did it take you to get used to it? Do you live with it? Do you train with it?
Yeah, I mean, I do have a few in my house, but they're not quite as stellar as the one on the show, which I can't walk 2 paces off the set with. I mean, the props guys are like, oh, did I? Can't go in here with that one, with the mothership, the mother sword. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. It was something I had to get attached to, and I actually learned more about her as I was training with it at the very beginning before I started shooting. It really was something I could understand. Oh, I see, this is an extension of her power, and she found a new identity in this weapon as she was stepping into this new apocalyptic realm. And so it is a very powerful, very fascinating weapon, and you know, you watch a lot of the films where the experts are using it, and it's really kind of astounding what an amazing thing it is. I'm constantly learning more about it, and I have to because there's so much to learn, and you know, I'm nowhere near an expert at it. But yeah, it's been really, really awesome to connect with her through the weapon and understand. It helped me understand her and how she didn't need to talk much in the beginning because she was in a realm where it wasn't about talking; it was about getting the job done, and that's kind of where she found her identity after her traumas.
Cool. As detail freaks noticed, on the handguard at the hilt there, there's the trifecta, one of the religious symbol, you know, for the Trinity and that. Is there anything you feel religious about her use of the weapon? Is it like Excalibur and King Arthur and one of these sacred swords?
It's not sacred to her in that realm. I mean, I think for her it really is something that she's a very pragmatic person. For her, it's about pragmatism, it's about getting things done, and it's about having something that's effective and efficient and urgent, like that works in an urgent, immediate way that she can rely on. And that is so what the katana is for her. So it does become this extension of her arm, something that she knows is right there and can work for her in a flash. And so that's kind of more what it is for her. You know, I think that is very cool, that the symbol on the sword. And, you know, John Sanders, who designed the sword, he talks a lot about it, I'm sure you guys have heard him talk about how he designed it and what everything means on it. And it's amazing. I mean, there's even real eel skin in there because, you know, that's the sort of thing that would really absorb blood. And so he actually made sure that it was made with eel skin. A lot of really great detail. But I think for her, it's really about pragmatism, effectiveness, efficiency, and the ability to get the job done at the drop of a hat.
I want to stay with the sword a minute more and drag David into this.
I know you might do that, yeah.
One of the most horrific moments in the series to me to date has been, of course, when you take the sword and do Herschel, who is one of the most saintly characters in it. To me, that was the ultimate, I don't know if you want to say act of sacrilege, the act of, the real darkness going after the real light, and it just literally made me go, when I saw it. When you found out that you were going to have Herschel and the katana, did that resonate for you?
Yeah, that whole episode I thought was amazing. I mean, when the scripts come, we read the scripts, and it's so sad when people have to go, but and Scott Wilson, who's a fantastic actor. And I skipped on a few pages, and then I go as well. So, I mean, that's part of the show. I think what was great about that episode was its scale, the fact that the governor turns up, he's got the tank, everybody's in the prison, and just but all those episodes. I think what's great about the show is the characterization. The way the writers give us these great lines, they give us great characters to play, and even in 3 episodes, which I had in season 4, you saw this man battling with himself, battling with his inner demons, and then they just triumph in the end, and there he is, and he makes this ultimate sacrifice. It wasn't just this one clean cut as well, it went on for ages.
Yeah, you didn't know how to use the damn thing.
I don't know. I'm not trained like Michelle was, so I sort of had to have quite a few goes at it. But it was a great episode. Like I say, the show just keeps topping everything it does.
Great, thank you, sir. We've been started out, it was like, oh, who's that guy? Oh, yeah, he's weird. Oh, maybe he's on the bike. Maybe he's not. He's got this creepy brother.
Does it have an underbite?
Yeah.
Oh, on the bike, I used to with an underbite.
But as it's gone on, you have increased in depth and importance, and a lot of the artwork for this season have like you and Rick, as kind of like the 2 pillars up there. What has it felt like for you to become, as you can see, a huge fan favorite and to grow in the series?
And the whole job has changed me in a bunch of different ways. I really like this job, and I like all these people a lot. I mean, they're really my family. I think I have more friends in Sonoya than I do anywhere else, to be honest. I don't know, but it's been interesting, for all the characters. I mean, Steven's not the same Steven he was when we started. None of us are. It's interesting. I mean, this has been a weird couple of days, to be honest. I worked yesterday, and then they put so much oily stuff all over me, I didn't realize it. And then I went home, tried to shower all that crap off and all the dirt, and then left this giant ring of dirt in my bathtub. And then went to the airport. I was starving because I missed lunch. Then I got a hamburger at the airport, sat down in my seat, and people are getting on the plane. I'm starting to eat it, and I look around, and there's like 12 camera phones on me. So I got in the bathroom of the airplane and ate my food. And I'm hiding in the bathroom eating a cheeseburger, and I'm like wiping like black dirt off my ear, eating a cheeseburger, waiting for everybody to get on the plane. And then I sat down. Then I came here, but I didn't have shoes. So these are my stunt double shoes, which are like 3 sizes too big for me. So like hobbling around in this, and then this fucking alarm went off last night when I killed somebody. I'm so out of there right now. So good morning.
Last night, it was this morning. 4 a.m., y'all.
When I got up.
Like an hour. You couldn't hear the intercom guy. It was like,
Norman, I have a gift for you.
what is it? It's a what?
Eat it.
Yeah, bring it can't see you, man. Oh, like jerky or
Is it a real squirrel? Is it jerky?
I saw roadkill yesterday and I was like, should I?
Oh, you can't eat it.
Somebody gave me squirrel once in a bag at one of these. I swear to God. And she goes, yeah, I hunted it down with a shovel.
Great new superhero, Canadian book called Red Squirrel.
Oh, it's a cat. Thank you very much.
He thought he was getting squirrel jerky to eat.
Shirt for him too. Company name is Poor Man
Oh,
Comics.
it truly is an end. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye. Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that was quite the bum rush right there. You got even better than that.
Now, see, okay, people, they try to take photos of you eating your burger, they come up and give you stuff like this. Did you ever think this kind of stuff was going to happen when you signed on to do the show?
Oh, no, no. I don't know, the show is so good. I'm a fan of the show, I'm a fan of everybody on the show. The writing is so good right now, and the stories are so fucking good. I mean, sorry, children.
Reedus salute!
I never thought there would be people asking me to do this. You know what I mean? And then, I went to London and I took these selfies licking monuments as I went. I knew Charlie Chaplin and I just licked everybody in London for like a week. And then now it's what? What was that? It's what do you call that?
Keep it at least PG-13, please.
It's just licking.
It's just yeah. I don't know.
So anyway, there's a whole bunch of different. Let me get down to something practical, the crossbow. And you had never shot one before in your life, had you?
Not before I started the show. Pretty good now. He's probably better. He's got a gun range. He's probably better than me. But they gave me I'm good with a compound bow right now. They gave me one of those, and the place I live in Georgia. This company sent me all these tie-dye, tighty-whitey underwear, so I threw away all my underwear, and I just wear the tie-dye ones as much as possible. Which is weird, I don't know why. But I wake up every morning and I make coffee, and I walk downstairs in the woods where I live with the compound bow in my tighty-whitey underwear, and I have targets set up by the trees, and I have a coffee, and I shoot the thing at the targets, and sometimes I miss and they stick into the trees. But they stick so far into the trees I can't pull them out, so all the trees around it's like arrows sticking all over them. But yeah, I'm pretty good with that. I'm so tired of rambling, I'm so sorry.
This is the mature side of things. You made an allusion to the fact that the show can be emotionally harrowing to work on, and I guess sometimes I sit at home, as everybody does, and say, what is it like to go through this all the time? I mean, seriously, does it have a real emotional downside? Do you go down doing it?
Danai, what did you say to me yesterday? Danai was telling me a story about how she hurt her knee and like my knee stopped aching. It's like what was it you said? You said,
it was an episode where he, of course, caused some havoc. You will forever be responsible for my knees hurting. It's when the bread truck comes into the prison and all the walkers come out, and I have to run. I'm trying to shoot, and it shows a terrible shot, and then I have to run to help Herschel. And I had to I dropped the gun and I had to pull out my sword and run. And I've been working on my running, because I'm more of a kick punch girl. I'm not really into the running thing. I do it when I have to, but it's not my favorite thing. And so I've been working on okay, I'm gonna run, sprint through this episode, sprint. And so I've been working on a treadmill. But then I forgot or didn't realize that the prison, that has all that high grass around it, but you can't see the ground underneath it. And of course, I think they ripped out something I don't know, something that was like tarmac or something to get the grass to grow. So basically, it does this. It's just a bunch of dips and jumps and dips and jumps. And so I was sprinting that, like going, like trying to still look like I knew what I was doing, trying to still look like somewhat cool. And I'm like dropping like 3 feet and coming back up and dropping 3 feet, coming back up and still trying to look steady. And by the end of it, my knees were shot.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
That wasn't what I was talking about, but basically...
That was the story, though.
Also for that story, but my knees hurt when she tells me that story, and I think that's one thing with The Walking Dead, is I read anything that happens to any character, and I just like, I think that's what happens to all of us. You just start to, we're so in it now that you just get...
Sympathy pain.
Sympathy pain, yeah, literally. But, thank you. But, no, my knees started to hurt, but we were in the car tonight, and you said, I love you, Cohan, you just feel.
No, you tell her anything, and she goes, oh. It's beautiful.
Cup of tea. But it's true. I mean, it's why we love doing it. It's like Norman said. I mean, literally, we are more family in this family than in any other situation in life. I mean, we don't see our own families as much because of doing the show, but I mean, I feel like we have that in this, and it's you know, it comes with the blessing and with the hard side of really just feeling deeply, like you guys all do when you watch the show. I mean, you know that you're in for an emotional ride, and you still want to keep watching, and you just... My friend who started watching the show when I was on it was like, I love this show, and I love you, but damn you for making me addicted, because it's so stressful. And it's true, but I just feel like this is so real. I feel like we get to tell, in this crazy universe, we get to tell such real stories, and The Walking Dead to me, in this zombie crazy apocalypse where people eat people, feels so real. So, you know, I appreciate that to the nth degree, and appreciate you guys